All right, guys, welcome to Powerpreneur Show. We've got an awesome host from Sweden today. What time is it in Sweden, Jenny?
It's 7 in the evening,
All
7:08
right.
to be exact.
So
Yeah,
we're all three in different time zones. You're in Sweden time, I'm in Pacific Standard, and McCoy is in Eastern.
great.
Yep.
So our audience will be chiming in from many different, I would say, time zones, right? So McCoy,
hmm
let's get started. Powerpreneur
Let's
Show
do it.
is a LinkedIn live show, and we do this because we want to give strength to people who are looking for entrepreneurship, who are looking for that brotherhood in entrepreneurship or sisterhood, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate. We are here for everybody. And it is the journey of a powerpreneur, that how they have reinvented themselves over and over in order to be successful, in order to be profitable, and leading a life that they really desire. So one thing, Jenny, I'll tell you is this is a special show because we only bring successful entrepreneurs here.
Amazing.
And I'm going to hand it over to McCoy to introduce you. That way people know who you are and what's your why.
So Jenny and I met on LinkedIn. I absolutely love LinkedIn, but we met on LinkedIn and we really got into this really heavy conversation, just really focused around health and wellness. And we really found that we had a lot of similarities. And, she comes from an athletic background, just like I do. And maybe she took hers to a more professional level, which we would love to hear more about with your professional skiing and all those things. But we really got into a conversation really focused about wellness, more specifically omegas and the importance that it has with the anti-inflammatory process. So what we're going to do here is, Jenny, with the first question here, please enlighten our audience about who you are and what you do.
Oh, who am I? I'm just an ordinary woman from Sweden with a
With some
background.
extraordinary background and work.
You
Let's
better
put it
own it,
that way.
honey.
I love your modesty, but we were gonna boost you up here.
Well, that's a typical Swedish thing.
Oh, is
So it's
it?
a
Okay.
culture thing, I would say. But yeah, I used to be, I was a professional alpine skier until I actually wrecked both of my knees. And so I've done surgeries, the ligaments and the cruciate ligament and the meniscus and everything in my knees. Basically, that was my passion. I was going to be the number one in the world, but I had to redesign my life
Oh my
and do something else. And
Look at that. Like you say
yeah,
that with a smile on your face, and it's not easy to go through that journey, and it's a dream crushing thing that happens.
mm,
So
mm,
you have done a lot of healing, I believe.
mm. I mean, going from, and I'm sure a lot of athletes can relate, and even you, McCoy. I mean, being surrounded by people and having that support network with coaches and mentors and friends and everything, and then suddenly everything is like taken away from you. That's kind of a big thing when you are in your teens. I mean, you're a young adult and you don't really know what to do and where to go and who to contact or anything. So that's a reinvention in itself, to start over and trying to figure out, going from an adrenaline kicking sport where you have you go out there and you ski and you have that in your body, like, and then suddenly it's not there, and it's like, how the heck can I get that kick again? So I think that it's very common, for one thing, that athletes do become entrepreneurs, but because just becoming an entrepreneur is kind of like, I got to find something new to do that gives me another rush or another kick or something going on in my body again. I got to feel that. And
Totally. The
entrepreneurship is,
junkies we are.
yeah, but entrepreneurship is all about that. You got to have the drive and the passion and the craziness and everything above and beyond.
Obsession, almost the obsession. Like sometimes I
Exactly.
feel I'm obsessed with what I do, and
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like I have done skydiving
Yeah.
And that, I still remember the 20 seconds of free fall, and I want that more and more. And I think I relive that every day through entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
So I totally
absolutely.
get it, what you're saying.
Yeah. So, I had to go out there and try to figure it out on my own. And I became this good girl. So I did a double degree and I certified myself in basically everything that you can possibly do, trying to achieve that and trying to find that why in my body. And I ended up starting a sporting events company for women, doing sporting events like these action sport events. So not the regular calm stuff, more action with like surfing, skateboarding, snowboarding, and that. A heck of a
all
time.
the junky sports.
Yeah. Again, so I had a time of my life, and then family entered my life, and I had a short period where I actually was an employee. Didn't really work out, wasn't my thing, so I had to leave and start my own business again.
How short instead of asking how long that was, I should ask how short-lived that was.
It was a very short time. I suffered through it.
We all can relate on this call.
McCoy, you can't say anything because you have no short-lived experiences except for student and some paid student time revenue generating, because she never went to corporate. And
I tried it, but it's too big, it's too complicated. You cannot go to your highest the CEO of the company and say whatever you want to, and I'm a person that do that, so it didn't really work out.
I just say what I feel and how I feel, and I'm like, I have no filter, so I get it. Me and McCoy are the same. So I had a short-lived, I would say, under 5-year kind of corporate position. And some of it was doing through, being a student, and you could get paid because now you have some creds and stuff. So totally get it. I think we're all just very similar here. We have accepted the fact that you're not employee material.
Exactly. But that's what powerpreneurship is all about, right?
Yeah, powerpreneurship is all about gaining the strength, the internal strength, and the support system around you that makes you that powerful entrepreneur. Because if it wasn't for that internal obsession and everybody supporting you, we wouldn't be where we are, right? So there's no, it's a two-faced, I would say, support system, inside, outside. Just like beauty, inside out, right? And I feel like we should not claim, how people are like, oh, I'm self-made. There is no such thing as self-made, because your family or your loved ones or your business family or your soul family, there is someone feeding you all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. True.
So next question, what's your big why?
Let's get into the next question here.
Yeah.
What's your big why? Like, what is your life's calling and what's your big why?
Well, to talk about it really briefly, I founded an organization empowering women entrepreneurs, like exactly what we are talking about here in Sweden. So working to support women entrepreneurs, boosting them and so forth. But I had been during that time in a kind of not very good relationship for myself. And I also encountered a lot of women trying to achieve their dreams and being powerpreneurs and trying to juggle life and the struggles that comes with having a family, having a doing a career or creating or building their business and trying to be that 100% person in all the aspects of their life. And that really, I met so many women that was on the edge of getting burnt out, including myself at that time, actually, because I've been a high achiever, trying to fix everything and being in a kind of not really healthy relationship. So it took a toll out on me. But when I encountered the Cincino business that I'm in today as one of the things that I'm doing, I found that, you know, because also at the same time I was working with coaching, and when you coach people, and I'm sure you know this, you kind of end up talking to about things they want to change in their life, or if it's business development or whatever. You know, you always kind of end up in one topic, and that is health related. So basically everyone today has some kind of health issue. So being in my organization and being as a coach, working as a coach, I started thinking that, God, I have to do something else. You know, this is not really working. I mean, I'm going to lose all my clients if I don't help them with their health issues first. Otherwise, everyone is going to be at home in bed or something, you know?
Right.
And I started
to have the perfect excuse for you. My knees are not working. My leg is broken today. My back's hurting.
Exactly.
I get it.
You know, I had to start thinking about what can I do, and then that's when I found Cincino business, who is working with test-based nutrition, and I found that really easy for me to apply to my business as a coach, because I could easily start working with my clients both with lifestyle coaching and doing test-based doing blood testing on my clients also to see how are you doing with your health, and looking
the proof
at
is
it
in the pudding.
But you know, looking at the blood test, I mean, it says it all. It's not that I have to be a doctor. The blood test and the test itself tells me a lot of information, which makes me so easy to help other people to gain better health. And so I thought, maybe this is the key. Maybe I can also heal all the women that I meet that are on the edge of becoming burnt out, and I can still keep my client in the organization. But it actually led me straight into the path of functional nutrition. And you know, then more, my dad actually also passed in cancer. So I went through that, and being in that year of looking into his disease and everything got me to even more evaluate my life and what I was doing and why I was doing what I was doing. And I can honestly say, you know, we only have one life.
That's right.
You know, we got to take care of it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And then we only have one body. People act as if like this body is replaceable. Like,
I know.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Most people act like we can just, you know, I can change my liver, or I can do, you know, change my organs or whatever, my leg. It doesn't matter, but it matters. And I want to be there for my kids, and I want to be there for my family. And I'm not going to, when I'm 90, I'm not going to care about what I did if I didn't take care of myself. So I kind of decided that this is my mission. So I had to change
I totally get it.
Basically everything that I was doing.
Well, Jennie, think about this. I was talking to this lady yesterday. She's married to a doctor, and they have all the money. They have kids, but she has 2 failed kidneys, and she wants to live.
And super unhappy.
But didn't ever take any proactive measures. Now she can not walk, 3 days dialysis.
Yeah.
Like,
so let's go down that hole then. So let's talk about the fact that how these negative outcomes that happens in our life, how that literally helps to provide you with that why, with that passion. It gives you a reason, a purpose, right? So let's talk about how, for example, you know, if a parent or a relative gains cancer or something, let's talk about how that really impacted the way you move now versus how you were moving before, you know, that negative, you know, life impact.
Yeah, but you know, when when my dad got diagnosed with cancer and then got palliative care, that the doctors decided it's nothing we can do. I started to read on the medications that he was given, and I was like, why is he eating this? And why this? And why that? And I started to, you know, educate myself in all that types of medication. And I know you are a pharmacist, right? So you know
about very proficient in
I know,
oncology,
and
right?
I don't know anything compared to you, beautiful women, but honestly, you know, doctors are giving medications and then another medication for a side effect, and then another, and then another, and then another. And I was like,
well, that's what kills people, you know.
I know.
In my
And I
practice, I saw
know
more people die from oncology drugs than actual cancer.
Yeah. So I read up on all the medication that my dad got, and I actually questioned all the doctors, and I went to them and I called them up and I was like, why are you giving him this? Yeah, but and the answer I got was simple. It was, well, we don't want to interfere with what another doctor is saying, and this is a symptom.
Is that a valid reason to put someone's
You
loved
know,
one on a
like,
toxic drug that's killing them?
I know, and I learned so much during this time, and I felt like, you know, I am here on earth with a mission. That's what I felt. I have to do something, whether it's like go out there and be that advocate or something, you know. I got to talk to people. If it's you know, to motivate people or to like scare people, I don't know, but I gotta talk the truth, and I gotta tell what's going on and what's happening, because we need to mind what we are doing. And so basically that's my mission. And even I myself, being in a bad relationship, and I can honestly say to you still today, I am suffering from PTSD. So I have a hard time sleeping, and this really affects my health. And I'm trying to biohack everything that I can. I'm doing everything correctly. Yesterday, I took my first Wim Hof
breath work
ice bath, and honestly, I thought I was going to die, but you know, I have to do something. and I'm on this
helps so much.
Sorry.
Breathwork helps a lot.
Yeah, I know.
There's a whole book called Breathe. You know, it talks about the whole in depth of breathing, and I understand, Jennie. Me and McCoy, we've had our fair share of bad relationships, and the anxiety when you sleep is real. You know, like it wakes you up, and you don't even know where it's coming from, but it is past trauma that you haven't healed yet.
Absolutely, absolutely, and what I know is that I am not alone. There are so many beautiful women out there that I can help to change, even men, of course, but there's so many women out there that I can have an impact on, and that I can help, that I can coach. I've done the journey. I'm on my way. I know where to start. I've been in programs for, you know, burnt out, which is not really helpful for all people, because you got to look at it from a different perspective. Many of these programs are not designed to actually get you out of there, but to kind of keep you there is what I think. But, you know, so I totally
get it. If you're not addressing the needs of the body, the mindset will only go so far, because your body is in so much lack and it's craving for good stuff, right? So me and McCoy, being in functional medicine and functional nutrition, we totally understand micronutritional deficiencies, omegas, the ratios. And if your body is not, it's like a plant that's like not getting the water, and then you're like, oh, let's put more sunlight, it's not going to work. You got to look at the whole recipe of how this plant is nourished. So there is a fertilizer, there is the soil microbiome, there is the sunlight, there's the humidity, right? So mango cannot grow in North Carolina, right? It can only grow in Mexico or on the borders here, right? So there is a whole recipe that works for every plant, and we have to understand human beings are unique plants of their own, Each
Right.
human being has its own DNA that is so designed. So that's why test-based therapies are best, because if you can see what that exact person is going through, that's like an insight on their body. And now you can create a protocol that really helps that person, right? So no cookie cutter approaches here.
So my next question, though, tell us about what kind of legacy that you want to leave here. Like, you know, for your children, for your family, for your business. What do you want to leave behind?
Well, I want to leave behind a different attitude within my own family. And what I'm building up at the moment is something that my children can inherit from me and take and continue to work with. I'm also at the moment building a foundation for children and youth adults suffering from mental illness and health issues. I really don't want to say suffering, because I really, you know, we always talk about how people are suffering, and we kind of also have to change our verbal language on how we approach things. So I really want to say that we're building a foundation working to promote health or a healthy lifestyle instead. So we are actually doing projects within the foundation where we have the biochemistry of the body as a focus, because what I've also noticed and what I know is that there is a lot of foundations out there, and every one of them are focusing on mentorship and coaching. And you know, as well as I do, if you don't give your body the proper nutrition, how the heck are you going to be able to think correctly? And that's just you know, our brains are not wired that if we can't feed our body what it
those
needs.
Macronutrients help with our basic physiological functions, growth, development, etc.
But some industries very, very smartly omit the whole fact. But you'll be surprised, Jennie. Abbott actually paid me very handsomely for a 45-minute webinar to do nutrition for mind.
Nice.
That was an awesome thing. I mean, I love the pay I got, but I was like, so my presentation was almost 45 minutes to 50 minutes, but I was almost there for another 45 minutes doing Q&A, and people were so interested. Oh my God. If the companies are ready to feed the right things to their employees, these corporations will thrive. But who are running these HRs that are not understanding what the employees need?
Like one thing that I'm doing, and I gotta share this because I think it's a good concept that everyone should, you know, if you want to work towards the corporate world. One thing that I'm doing is that I'm creating this vitamin basket instead, and I'm talking to the companies, like when you have your board meetings, why do you go out and buy donuts or whatever? You know, the typical, I'm sure you've heard of the typical Swedish fika.
Well, that's because they're cheap, Jennie.
You know,
they're
why
$5?
Exactly. Why not?
And pizza.
Exactly. And this is not taking them anywhere closer to their vision and goals, right? Instead, you know, you put a lot of goals and restraints on your employees, and you say you got to do this and this and this and perform this and this and this, so forth. And then during the pause or the lunch breaks or whatever, the company provides them with fika donuts and bad stuff that really, you know, works in a bad way with the blood sugar and everything. And then they put the pressure, you're not delivering.
They do that in Sweden too?
Yeah, it's all over the world. My God. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to educate companies.
India, they won't touch it. People won't touch it. It would go straight to garbage.
Oh, okay. That's
well,
cool.
pizza,
That's cool.
but donuts, we don't touch donuts because we like gourmet sweets. But anyways, I didn't know that Sweden was doing that too. Sweden has a number, like the top 3 countries of being healthy. So I
absolutely, but I think it's in the culture. I mean, we have a very strong culture. And I do believe that, I mean, in a lot of countries, people like sweets, and it's just growing. It's when you're in a store, that's what you see before you check out in the cash register, so it's
I get
just,
it.
you have it everywhere
It's
where
like
you go.
fed to you to the point where you're brainwashed now and you can't even think past it. So me and McCoy, when we do our trainings, we go with like green juices, salads, and we make it a point that we're not feeding anybody garbage that we wouldn't put in our body.
That's good. That's what
And
I'm
not to
doing.
It's a lot. It's out-of-pocket expense. Right?
And
We're
not
not a corporation.
The crappy stuff is in the commercials and stuff every time you turn on the television, which I don't watch television, but it's still there.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to do, or what I'm working with really hard, if you talk about what kind of legacy, is that I'm trying actually to talk to the HR and see, can you not just provide the vitamin basket or something else to your employees instead, provide them with proper nutrition so that you can work towards your goal even better, I'm sure you will lower your sick leave, and it would, you probably reach your goal a lot faster, and just another approach.
Jennie, I love that. I love that. And once you're successful in the corporate world in Sweden, let us know, because me and McCoy will move there, because I've hit a wall. We have hit a wall in America. In 2022, I did 18 events in corporate world, and not one HR was ready to do anything.
I know, but we have to work on it. We cannot give up, And
I'm not giving up, but I'm like, I need to find other leaders who are doing it, and then I'll just join them, because I don't have that much time to do pro bono work. I did that last year, and literally I have not made a dime from it, and not one HR said yes to helping their employees. So they want all this from their employees, but they don't want to give any tools, anything that help them, because suddenly they don't have the budget. Like, I'm like, wow, your quarterly reports shows you are in like 150% profit margin, but you have no budget to give your employees the tools. So I feel like the employees should be proactive and bringing people, saying, hey, this is what we want.
You gotta demand it.
It's the same, right? Like, there's government, and then there's people, there's corporations, and then there's people. So people have the power, and we do not understand how much power we have. Like, that's the biggest problem. We just accept, and we're just trained to be a sheeple. We need to stop that.
Yeah,
but that's one of the reasons why we have this podcast, right? To help empower people and really show them how people like you, Jennie, have reinvented themselves and have made a way, instead of whine and complain and, victim mentality. But, there's a way to get up and say, you know what? I'm going to unapologetically stand up and say yes to myself and say yes to what's right. And I'm going to lead the next movement to move forward into that, right?
But this is also a reason why I found that network marketing is such an important industry as well, because it actually helps people in a different way that people don't, realize yet, and think about or appreciate.
Well, that too, right? People need to open their mind. That is one of the best ways to do business.
Exactly.
You definitely need a legit product and a legit company.
Exactly.
There's bogus stuff everywhere.
Due diligence.
There are bogus corporations too, right? So I mean, what's different about this world? So stop putting taboo, because there is so much research coming out that a lot of corporations will do 1099s, and that day you will not know what to do with your life, because all the perks and salary systems will be gone and gone and gone. Like, declining.
I mean, 20 years from now, the world is going to look totally different. And my kids is never going to have a proper job like I didn't have a proper job anyway, so I cannot say that. But, it's going to be different.
We don't have proper jobs, right?
What is a proper job anyway?
Proper job. I get fired every couple years, and then I don't even know what it means to hold a job. So
I think a proper job is to be a powerpreneur, or that's what it is.
I think
to
people
empower
like
other people.
50 years, 100 years from now, people will be like, "What? You have a job? Like
What is
you're not
that?
an independent contractor?"
Exactly.
You don't work for yourself?
Or a job as a word might not be in the dictionary anymore.
Yeah, our form of
They
currency could completely change. We could possibly go back to a bartering system.
Absolutely. They do expect that the world's going to be different 100 years from now, even eating wise, and meat industry, agriculture industry, everything's changing. So yeah, we're striving for a new world, and I feel like we here are the leaders, we're the pioneers, we're not budging. There were times where I could just eat a banana and I still did it. I never went back to a job. And you know what I mean?
Notice she said
banana for a meal
and not ramen noodles, products members.
Well, I'm not into ramen because of all the chemicals and
exactly. But that's the point I wanted to make.
Yeah, and I was determined, Jennie. I was like, if I have to eat banana for next 30 meals, I'm okay with that, but I will not go back to a job. I want to make sure I make it in this realm. Yeah. And that's what happens once you start thinking, oh, I can get a job. You will not be able to make it here because suddenly your brain has gotten into a comfort zone. You cannot have comfort zones there. And that's the biggest challenge with entrepreneurship. So
what I find is so amazing is that all three of us, being in what we are doing, we can help so many people, not just with health. We can also help so many people when it comes to actually get a little bit less stress in their body, because we can help them to, start a business or start working as an entrepreneur, or, even if it's just an extra $200 per month, that could be a tremendous life changer for a person. It could change its entire family to have that. And it doesn't have to be that much. It can be that little, but it can also be a lot, and I find that so amazing too, because it financial situation for a lot of people is also about health. It's also about
financial wellness is not talked about in actual health system, and that's what I really tell people. So think about this, right? Like, I was feeling depressed in my job, and I felt like this is horrible, what they're doing to me is not right. And I think a lot of employees go through that sometime in their cycle of being in corporate. So my therapist said, you need to have an option, because all you're feeling is suffocated and feeling like your life depends on this. And as soon as you do the whole option system, that will not happen. And that's where the light bulb went on. I'm like, yeah, why am I not creating options? That's when I kind of got really fast into taking more and more action into creating income. So financial wellness is such a big part of your health, your total health. And that's what people need to understand.
Yeah, and like we said, jobs are gonna change, and being in this industry, we are working. Everything we do is what we achieve. It's not like we get something before and then we can chill and have a blast. It's like hard work, obviously, but again, it's when I decide and where I decide where I want to be also. And that's a tremendous freedom. But I won't earn if I don't do my job, obviously. But so that's another thing that will change in the future too, when it comes to regular employments. I think that kind of salary system will change. So it will be tougher, and being in the industry will give you an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. What a rich conversation today, right, McCoy?
Absolutely. And I know that some of our audience members are dying to figure out how they can reach out to you further. So please share your social media, your email, your website, so that if anybody wants to continue the conversation with you, they can.
Yeah, but they're more than welcome to reach out. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook as Jennie K Wellness. I don't know, do I just type it in under, or how do I share my information?
You can just speak it here, and then the followers on LinkedIn, they'll be able to see that you are a speaker here. And
Okay.
they definitely can reach out to us if they can't find it.
Yeah, it's super easy, Jennie with IEK Wellness, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and here on LinkedIn I go by Jennie Kvinthas, Kvinthahs. It's a little hard to pronounce for for a non-Swedish speaker, but I'm the only one. So kind of easy to find.
Well, I see that you have reshared our show link. So basically, once we're done with this, you can go and put your info there on the show link, because that's where everybody can see on the bottom in the comments.
Yeah. No, I'd love to talk to anyone about health, entrepreneurship, and about changing your lifestyle.
Absolutely. So I'm so grateful to have you, Jennie, and thank you for everything you've shared. Let's talk about a part 2 coming, in maybe Q3 or Q4, where we can talk. Let's get deep into omegas. We all have omegas that are a big part of our practice. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're using different companies. That doesn't mean anything. It's for the good of the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. It's a broad and big topic, and it's an amazing topic to talk about, and talk about the test as well.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, and what a beautiful soul you're, Jennie. I look forward to our lifelong relationship. Me and McCoy hopefully can come down to Sweden, hang out with you.
Let's go. I have a passport.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, me and McCoy travel quite a bit for work, so I'm sure it'll happen sometime.
Looking forward, and do come in the winter so we can go skiing.
Bunny Hill, right?
Yeah, I'll come to you and then we can do that.